Hello, good afternoon. Are you all still hungry? Do you have the energy na ba to listen? This is a very important topic, no? Observability in action. Like something that most developers usually ignore, but is very important in the longevity and scalability of the app. So for this session, I'll be talking about why metric, logs, traces are very important for us and for the success of the systems and apps that we are developing. So I'm Cleo. I'm the CTO of Fullscale, and I'm also a Google Developer Expert for Firebase, and most especially co-lead ng Pizza Pie Python Users Group ng Cebu. Yay! So, so let's talk about observability, no? From the word itself, observe. So when you have an app, you deploy it to production, one pitfalls that most developers, DevOps, and SREs would do is they will only look on the dashboards when a fire is happening. Tinood, dili. Tinood? So that's that's something that we should change in terms of our workflows is we have these dashboards not because we can only utilize this during P0, P1 tickets, during firefighting. It's most importantly, it's to observe patterns with the request that's coming from our users, the traffic, the latency, and everything. And so, in a nutshell, it's the ability to understand the internal state of a system given the external output. So, it helps you answer what is broken, why did it break, who or what is impacted, and most especially, as I mentioned, the proactive checking how is your app performing internally. Okay? And now, we have the pillars of observability. So we have three. Metrics gives us what. And then the logs is the details of that what. And then lastly is the traces. So it tells a story about a request. For example, you executed a GET request for user data. So what is the life cycle of that GET request from its invocation until the point that it actually gives you a response? How long does it take? So traces are very important because when there are issues in production or in any environment, it allows you to replicate what the user did to encounter that certain error. And so that's why we will be talking about this, and I will be showing a demo as well in Python how you can actually utilize some of the tools in Python to gain more visibility, more transparency on how your app works under the hood. Okay? And so yeah, why is it important? Most especially, this is something I really advocate na we should not only leave observability to our site reliability engineers, to our DevOps, but as developers, we should proactively look at the dashboards to know how our app, what is the health of our app, how is it performing overall? Because it's a shared responsibility. Like the success of the app is a shared responsibility across the development team, the product team, business, and the entire organization. So yeah, it helps you detect bottlenecks. For example, are you lacking in terms of CPU power? Kailangan mo bang i-increase yung instances mo sa cloud? Is an API giving you high latency? Why? Because maybe you set it in the wrong region, things like that. Improve reliability. So lesser system downtimes when you know what's happening under the hood. Okay? So what's the difference between monitoring and observability? So monitoring overall in a nutshell is it's something that you set. So mostly mga alerts, mga factors na you would care. For example, latency, mga downtime, mga 500 responses or 404s. That is something that you can set in the dashboard. Now, observability, on the other hand, it explores the why and where. So given all of this, what that you have, what story does it actually tell? So in terms of like the issue, where can be the root cause be? So that's the importance of observability. No, based on these facts that you have, what insight can we derive it from? And so as I mentioned, monitoring tells you that something is wrong. It gives you alerts, it gives you notification, whereas observability, it tells you why and where it is happening. So monitoring and observability goes hand in hand for you to deliver a complete system insight. So these two should be present, not only one, but the two. Okay? So here, the observability stack. So we have metrics. So I will be using Prometheus for the demo, and then we have two tools for the traces. So OpenTelemetry and Jaeger. This is for the tracing SDK and the visualization. And then lastly, Grafana. So for Grafana, I wasn't able to complete the dashboard, but I will just I will show you how you can integrate what you created in Prometheus and in Jaeger to streamline the data connection going to Grafana. Okay? And so, enough with the theory, let's start with the demo, no? So let me, okay. So let me open my editor. So, here, I created a simple Flask na application here. So let's try to read the code. Okay. So here we have our usual imports. No, we have Flask, and then of course our library for Prometheus client. And then here we also have our OpenTelemetry na setup, the imports. Klaro ra ba? Should I make it big? Okay. Then here we have our instantiation of the tracer. So the tracer is actually named as Flask Observability Demo. So this is important to identify the service name that you will be getting traces from in the Jaeger na UI. And then here, we will set up saan siya na port tatakbo. So 6831. And then here, we'll have a batch span processor, meaning when we're actually trying to do some tracing, it's per batch. Okay? And here is our simple Flask app, simple API na itetest natin to get all of this logs and traces. No? So we have here the request count specifically for HTTP requests. And before that request, as the specific method that we will be tracing is the get API request in this endpoint. So, ika-count natin siya. Yun yung lalabas sa initial natin na tool. And then here, we have this route. We define the route. Okay. The home or the base URL will display this. And then once we keep on requesting, spam natin yung home natin, matatali natin kung ilang beses siya tinawag. And then here, the metrics, this is the entry point of our Prometheus na laging na. So, and lastly, saan tatakbo siya? Okay, let me try to run this one. So, here it's on port 5001. Let's go to that in the web browser. So let me try to refresh this. As you can see, let me make it this big. So ito yung metrics natin. We care about this. So this is the total count of the requests that we get from the home. So Cleo, ba't 1 na yung nakalagay dyan? Hindi pa man tayo pumupunta doon sa Hello Observability na web page. It's because when I try to access the metric, automatically it invokes one get request to the home. So may isang one siya dito na initial value. Now let's try to spam this, no? I will try to execute 3 requests. So 1, 2, 3. Now let's try to refresh yung metrics natin. And as you can see, 5 yung lumabas niya dito. Okay? Now, the next important thing is going to Prometheus to check yung metrics natin. So as you can see, the state is up here, and if I actually like terminate 5 minutes left. Bilis. Okay. So, the state is up because we run the app.py, no? And then, if we're going to do the query here, nilabas ko na yung query para mabilis tayo. So, job, name, Prometheus. Now, how do I know na the name of the job is actually Prometheus? You go to your Prometheus configuration, which is here in YML file. So dito, the scraping interval is every 15 seconds. And then we have a job name called Prometheus, and our Prometheus is actually deployed in localhost 1990. So bilisan natin, punta tayo sa Jaeger. Ito, so here, let me try to refresh this one. So I'll get, this is what I mentioned about Flask observability demo. This is what we defined earlier. And as you can see, it's 1:18. So the last request that I have for get metrics is around 1 o'clock, 16 minutes and 52 seconds. Okay? And now, finally sa Grafana, you can actually go to connections, no? And go to your data sources, and you can connect it through Grafana to build different types of dashboards na you want. Okay? So, going back to my slides, binilisan ko din. So, I didn't have time to create fancy dashboards in Grafana, but I just want I want to show you what actually it looks like. So, this is something that you can define, no? One thing that you can see in our Grafana dashboard is the CPU usage. Then we have the number of logins. You can even put there yung mga country where are the countries that gets that invokes requests to your app, and even like the latency of some certain get, post, put, patch, or whatever API requests you have. Okay, so yeah, going back to my slides, these are some other tools apart from Grafana that you can actually use. You have Datadog, Dynatrace, New Relic, Splunk, and Signo. So for me, I have personally worked with Datadog, Dynatrace, New Relic, and Grafana. So don't ask me about Signo since Splunk, wala pa akong experience dyan. And as I mentioned, observability is a shared responsibility. Every one of us should know what the dashboard is telling us, because it's very critical in the success and the continuity of the app. The overall app or system health should be everyone's concern. Hindi lang siya concern ng DevOps, hindi lang siya concern ng SREs natin. Everyone should know how to read graphs, how to read traces, how to read logs. It will make you a much better developer. Trust me, I've handled fires in production for as long as I can. Yeah, fire. So, at some point, tatawagin kayo in a war room, and then you'll be fighting bugs there live with all of the, C-level or board members there na nagsishare screen ka. So, it's very important for you to be prepared for that. Okay? That is all. Daghang salamat, and I hope you learned something.